From giving the fastest man alive a run for his money, to his highly anticipated comeback at the Paris Olympics in 2024, here's why male sprinters are terrified of Yohan Blake. While Usain Bolt might have been crowned as the king of track and field, if there's anyone who almost came close to dethroning him, then it's gotta be this world champion. Not only has Yohan won gold as the youngest 100-meter world champion ever, but the Jamaican sprinter also scored a silver medal at the 2012 Olympic Games in London for his home team at only 23 years old. Blake clocked in at an impressive time of 9.75 seconds for the 100-meter race at the Olympics, making this the fastest sprint in Olympic history to not win a gold medal. That's how fast the guy is. Sure, Usain's on another level, but now that he's hung up his running shoes, male sprinters still have a lot to accomplish before they can even think of taking Yohan's place. Together with Tyson Gay, Yohan's the second fastest guy in the world with a personal best of 9.69 seconds over 100 meters. And it's crazy how he made that happen. When he first emerged as a junior sprinter, folks everywhere knew to watch out for him. After all, even as a rookie, Blake set the fastest time by a Jamaican junior sprinter, over 100 meters in 10.11 seconds. In fact, Yohan was so darn impressive that even Usain Bolt couldn't stop raving about it. While talking about his training partner, Bolt claimed that Yohan works like a beast and he's keeping pace with him step for step during training. I mean, when the fastest dude on earth calls you a beast, that's gotta count for something, right? And because of that, the nickname stuck. And Yohan made a whole lot of noise in the world of track and field. With each race, the Jamaican sprinter just became better at it, improving his times and winning medals left and right. It's hard to imagine that sprinting was never his passion as a kid. In case you didn't know, his first sporting love was cricket. But after his school's principal saw how fast he ran to the wicket, he was urged to give sprinting a try. And what do you know? It's a good thing he got that push, because running was indeed his calling. When he made it to the senior level after a couple of years in sprinting, Yohan switched gears and proved himself to be a serious competitor. At the Reebok Grand Prix in 2009, he secured third place right behind Asafa Powell and Tyson Gay with a 10-second barrier-breaking run of 9.96 seconds. As time went on, Yohan comfortably qualified for the 2011 World Championships, where he won gold in a time of 9.92 seconds. Back then, at just 21 years and 245 days, Blake becomes the youngest 100-meter world champion ever, leaving behind Carl Lewis, who won the same competition in 1982 when he was 22 years old. The Jamaican sprinter not only proved himself in his solo sprints, but he's also won gold in the 4x100-meter relay, allowing his team to break the previous world record with a time of 37.04 seconds. After that, it was just a string of wins for the guy. 2012 got off to a strong start, with an Olympic win in the bag and setting new world records by beating his 4x100 relay time again with 36.86 seconds. Yohan was on his way to greatness. In fact, it was in 2012 when he achieved his personal best in 100 meters, cementing his place right behind Usain Bolt as one of the fastest men in the world. Sadly, a couple of hamstring injuries got in his way after that, but that didn't stop him from competing again. His road to recovery was a little rocky, but in 2016, he had one hell of a comeback. Even after years of failing to qualify, Yohan never gave up. His determination to bounce back makes him one of the fiercest athletes of all time. And that's exactly why, right after he recovered, he ran his first sub-10 since 2012 at the 2015 Kingston MVP track and field meet. With an impressive time of 9.95 seconds, Blake knew he's got his mojo back. Not only was he able to defend his 100-meter national title at 9.92 seconds, but he also clocked in at 20.29 seconds for the 200-meter race. That same year, Blake won his second Olympic gold medal for the 4x100-meter relay, and he kept pushing himself well into 2017 too, where he anchored his team to a bronze medal in the same category. At the Jamaican National Championships, Yohan once again finished sub-10 and 20, which was a massive improvement from the previous season. But it wasn't until the World Athletics Championships in London that people knew he was back for good. Even though he finished fourth place in the 100-meter final, he was only 0.04 seconds behind Usain Bolt who'd failed to win his last individual race, settling for a bar of bronze. Yohan was one of the only 4 sprinters who went under 10 seconds in the race, with the others being Justin Gatlin, Christian Coleman, and of course, the lightning bolt. The sprinter's impressive comeback was one of the greatest feats of track and field, and even after his longtime coach Glenn Mills and he parted ways, the Jamaican superstar never backed down. In 2019, Yohan won his 4th national 100-meter title and finished in 2nd place in the 200-meter sprint. Right before he went to the World Championships in Doha that year, he won the Birmingham Diamond League, just collecting trophies left and right, proving that he's in it for the long haul. Yohan's eccentric personality, coupled with his amazing physique and aggressive sprinting style, has always earned a lot of praise from fellow sprinters. In fact, his training style is so impressive that it's no wonder guys steer clear of him. For him, world-class training doesn't need fancy equipment or whatever, and there's no magical method to be the best. A typical session for the athlete consists of some drills, plyometrics, explosive bodyweight drills, a couple of sled and hill sprints, and a little bit of cardio on the side. Practicing over and over again also makes him glide flawlessly across the track. And that tells you just how much effort this guy puts into the sport. With several back-to-back hamstring injuries, one would think that Yohan would hang up his spikes and walk away from the sport for good. But nope, this guy's never gonna back down. In 2021, he reached a sub-10 performance once again at the National Training Center in Claremont, USA in 9.98 seconds. And later that year, he one-upped himself and finished at the American Track League with an impressive 9.95 seconds. Throughout his entire career, Yohan's set plenty of records representing his country, but now he feels like it's the end of an era in Jamaica. Even though he's still setting the pace for Jamaican athletes in the sport, Blake feels that male sprinting is dying in the country. As a dude who once ran to get out of unfortunate living conditions, Yohan feels that the youth of his country today just aren't as passionate as before. According to him, when young athletes suddenly get a lot of money, they lose their way and end up partying a lot, which is an issue that someone needs to address. Yohan claimed that talent's not the issue the country has. In fact, all these youngsters need is some guidance, which can hopefully inspire them enough to want to represent their country again. Because even though he's done his best to put Jamaica on the map, the Jamaican superstar might have his last dance at the Paris Olympics in 2024. The 4-time Olympic champ says that in the upcoming sporting events, he's going to focus on the 3 main categories and hope to give his absolute best before stepping down for good. Previously in the Tokyo Olympics, Yohan had a huge upset where he failed to advance to the final of the 100-meter race, coming in 6th place with a time of 10.14 seconds. Back then, the champ stated that his leg had been bothering him for a while now, and because of that, he couldn't run as fast as he wanted to. But it wasn't the fact that Yohan didn't qualify that shocked everyone. For the first time since the 2000 Summer Olympics, no Jamaican sprinter had qualified for the final. This came as a shock to many fans around the world who'd gotten used to seeing these folks dominate the sport, but hopefully by the time Paris 2024 comes around, Yohan will finally be able to grab the bull by the horns and win another Olympic gold, one last time. So there you have it. From his highly anticipated comeback at the Paris Olympics in 2024 to giving the fastest man alive a run for his money, this was why male sprinters are terrified of Yohan Blake.